Welcome to the Imaginative Storm Writing Prompt of the Week. My name is Allegra Houston. My creative collaborator, James Nave, is currently in Asheville, North Carolina, as part of his duties as board member of the Lake Eden Arts Festival, LEAF and LEAF Arts Project. He's in a meeting with that right now, so I'm doing this video for you on my own. So every Saturday at noon Eastern time and every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, we open up a Zoom and wait to see who joins us. And so far, people have joined us from 6 continents, 20 countries, and maybe you will join us one of these days. And we share a prompt, we generate words, we write to the prompt, we read what we wrote aloud to one another. And on Saturdays, we also create a found poem, which we call the Exquisite Storm. And then after that, I or Nave or both of us sit here and make a video for you if you can't make it to the actual call. So we try to make this as close to the call as possible. So we will share the image and ask you for 2 minutes to generate a list of words. Whatever words pop into your mind as you look at this image, just write them down in a list. So not joined up writing, a list of single words or very short phrases, 2, 3, 4 word phrases at most. And then after you have made your personal list, we will come back and do the next thing. So here is your image for this week. After everyone has made their personal list, we go around the Zoom room and collect one word or phrase from each person and create a community list, which functions like a kind of collective imagination. If you think of, all the possibilities that your imagination might explore, it's pretty vast. It's like the ocean. But when we have this community list, it's like a kind of inlet of that ocean bounded by the people who are on the call, but still with an outlet to the larger ocean if you feel like swimming out and moving away from the list of words and just striking off on your own. So here is this week's collective imagination. Who let the dogs out? Welcome this. Hot seat. Electric chair. Bound up. The papal scream. A long redemption. Legless. The ghost pope. And when the person said that, I heard the ghost hope. So I wrote that down as well. Criminal undress, the scream, or is it? The way to hell, torment, pulling angels' strings, pastel voice. Can you hear me? Time traveling punk, angel of the morning, perspective. So you now have two lists to work with, your own personal list and this community list. And as I said, it's like a kind of inlet of the ocean, but with an opening towards the larger ocean. So in other words, you can hang out within these lists and use lots of words from these lists, or you can strike out on your own. Maybe one word or one idea sends you off and you won't ever look back at the lists at all. So it's entirely up to you. We won't tell you to write fast. We won't tell you to get out of your rational mind because, frankly, that's not possible. And most people who try to get out of their rational mind just feel like a failure. And that's not fair because it's not your failure. It's just being asked to do something impossible. So your rational mind is there for you, is there to help you. But the point is just not to let it lead the dance. Think of it as a dance with your imagination and your rational mind. And your imagination leads your rational mind's job is to follow, not to fight it, not to, storm off in a huff and say, I'm not doing this anymore. It's just for 10 minutes. Let your imagination spin your rational mind until it's dizzy, if that's what it feels like doing. The only goal here is not to write well because it's kind of ridiculous for 10 minutes. The goal here is simply to surprise yourself. And you surprise yourself by asking your rational mind to give up control, not make you write what you already know, but let your imagination play and put new concepts, words, ideas, images together. So the 10 minutes will start now. something now exists in the world that didn't exist before. That's kind of exciting, although you might think it's really trivial because it's just something you wrote in 10 minutes. But it's still a thing. You made something. You used your creative imagination, your willpower, your rational mind, all to create something that didn't exist before. And now is your opportunity to have it make a little mark on the world. Because when you read your writing aloud, you make a mark in the air. The sound waves travel. They don't do that if you're reading silently. But when you read aloud, you hear the sound of your words, and you are your most important audience. So even if you're in a quote unquote empty room, it's not empty, you're in it. And as you speak the words that you wrote, when you reach something that you like, and maybe you like the whole thing, but the normal thing is, you like, a bit here and there. When you reach a bit that you like, you will get a little rush of dopamine. Your body will actually tingle a little bit. You'll like it. It will feel good. You'll be excited. And very likely, there will be more of those places than you think there are. When you're writing, you don't know all the bits you're going to like. And when you read aloud, you notice them. When you read silently on the screen or on the page, you often don't notice them because you're more focused on in being an editing mind and judging mind. So you're looking more for things that you don't like than the things that you like. But when you read aloud, you can't edit really. You can maybe change it a little bit as you read. But basically, what you like becomes more important than what you don't like. And this is how you retrain your inner critic to support you, to praise you, to push you towards what you like in your writing, what's original, what feels like you. So put me on pause now and read what you wrote aloud. And before I go any further, I want to credit the image. It's a painting by Francis Bacon after Velázquez's portrait of Pope Innocent X. And if you look at the original Velázquez, you kind of wonder how he got to where he got to from that, but he did. And that's Francis Bacon. It's one in the series that he did rather a lot of screaming popes. So if you like what you wrote, why not share it? We have a platform where you can do that. It's called The Circle. Imaginative Storm Circle has all the prompts that we have offered for over 4 years now, every week. So that's literally hundreds of prompts, and you might like to look through them at some point. But you will find the most recent one at the top. Each one has the date that we offered it and a little description of the picture. Find the one that says Screaming Pope on 5/24/25. That's today's date. And you can attach what you wrote as a comment to that post. And then other people can comment on your comment. They can like, they can reply, they can tell you what pops for them in what you wrote. And you can be confident that you won't be criticized because, as we said, it's ridiculous to criticize something that's written in 10 minutes. The only thing that's valid is what's good, what pops, what speaks to somebody, what they feel intrigued by. And that's the kind of feedback you would get on the circle. And you will see other people have posted what they wrote and other people have liked and replied to that. And you can join our community in that way. So here is how you get to the circle. You go to imaginativestorm.com, scroll over to community, the Imaginative Storm community, inspiration and momentum, Imaginative Storm Circle. Click on that, it'll take you further down the page, and then click here to go to the circle. It'll look a little different to you when you get there because you aren't signed in yet, but you make a username and password, it's free, and then you will get something like this. You go over here to Prompt of the Week. And here you will find all the prompts of the week that we have done for over 4 years now. That is a lot of weeks. And I will show you last week's as an example. So when you click on it, you will see the image that we used and the word list from Saturday and then from Thursday, and then what people wrote and commented on other people's writing. And then for you, you just go down to the bottom here. You'll have this thing saying, what are your thoughts? And you just type right in there, whatever it is that you wrote, and then click post. Of course, you can also come to the Zoom. It's free. All you have to do is turn up on time with pen and paper, hit the Zoom link, which you will find on the homepage at imaginativestorm.com. You'll also find little buttons that say add to calendar for the Saturday and the Thursday. So if you would like to be reminded that the time is coming up, you can have it add to whatever calendar app you use. And while you're at imaginativestorm.com, you can also find about our books for writers and non-writers. We also have a really good book on how to make a speech that we published. And you'll find our audio and video courses of Write What You Don't Know and the Manageable Memoir. And you will find our in-person retreats. As I say this, the next one is coming up on June 21st and 22nd in Southern Colorado, the Spanish Peaks area. So you will find that on the workshops and retreats page. And you will also find Nave is going to be doing a 10-week Zoom course of Write What You Don't Know, which is our highly acclaimed book of writer training. And so you can join Nave once a week and work your way through that book. And we promise that not only will it transform your writing forever, it will transform your approach to writing. You will discover the fun, the excitement, the intrigue, the motivation, and some very useful techniques as well. So do check that out. And thank you for joining me today.